everybody, welcome to the Selfful Soul. This is your weekly pick a card reading. I thought that today I will put it as your central card, a major arcana, so we can see what the major themes in your life might be for the week ahead. So let's start with your different piles to choose from. That's pile 1, pile 2, pile 3 and pile 4, and we'll use the rhinoceros, the lion is pile 2, the zebra for pile 3, and I think we'll use this little heart thing for pile 4. Okay, so the rhino is pile 1, the lion's pile 2, the zebra is pile 3, and the heart, little heart container is pile 4. Okay, you can pause the video and make your selection, and I'll see you now. Welcome back, group 1. I'm really sorry. I started recording, or I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. And anyway, I started this the other day and wasn't feeling so well, but so I thought, let me wait until I was feeling really up to it to do a proper reading. I didn't want to lose these messages for you, so I thought rather not to reshuffle and, you know, draw another card or another set of cards. So you have at the center the Hanged Man. This card has been coming up a lot. It's come up for me. I didn't choose group 1 this week, so perhaps I've been through this phase, or you know, I've gone through this phase of hanging upside down, but it seems to be coming up a lot. I guess that's related to being in quarantine or lockdown or various forms of it, wherever we are. But the Hanged Man just reminds us to let go. Sometimes, in a sense, the Hanged Man is saying that the situation you're in at the moment is not preordained. It's out of your control, and you can either rage against it or you can go with it. And it is well, you are going to get better results from just allowing, because in allowing you relax first of all, and you are able to see the world, because you're upside down, from a different perspective. And the other thing about the Hanged Man, wow, I'm just thinking about that. I mean, I know this about the Hanged Man, you can see that from the light there, is that if you allow, you will get some inspiration. You will get, they say, enlightenment, but enlightenment is a big word, really. You will see something from a different perspective. And you know, I'm just thinking about it this week. In fact, just yesterday and the day before, I had 2 major lightning strikes, and they were so beautiful, you know. That's what the Hanged Man is about. It's just allowing and letting that come to you. Don't seek it, just simply allow. Just lie in suspension. Just stay with whatever the bonds are at the moment. Just relax with them and accept them as they are, for what they are, and know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And you know, it might not even be a big aha moment, although it's quite likely it will be, but it might just come to you subtly, or whatever. But it's about just relaxing and accepting the situation for what it is, and looking at things from a different perspective. Now, there are two very contradictory cards here. Well, they're not really contradictory. You've got really lovely cards. You have three major arcana, which is also why I didn't want to lose this. So, which means that this week is quite momentous, I guess. I hope, and I'd love to hear how it's worked out for you. So you have the Sun and you have the Hermit. The Hermit and the Sun. So so the Sun suggests that there is a lot of joy around you. There's a lot of joy to be had. And I'm thinking that this is about the perspective, right? You can take this time to go within and do the soul searching and the inner work, or you can see this as darkness, as negative. Darkness it is darkness, and I guess you can see darkness as a good thing, that going into the dark with your light, trusting that you have the light. Or you could be stuck and stay stuck and just sulk, I guess. Or you can see things from a really different perspective and see the light in the situation, enjoy the sun if you can, do sunshine kinds of things, like the thing that comes to mind is the sacral chakra. You can, and I've said this before, but I think it's a really useful thing, focus on the color yellow, or imagine the sun pouring into your solar plexus. I think the sun is very much a solar plexus kind of energy. Or you could even look at a picture like this and just enjoy its beauty. But I guess in this group, it suggests that some people would be willing to look at things positively, and some will see this having to go within, and this having to accept the suspension, the being in suspension, as a negative thing. So that's your choice. But I think with these three powerful cards, I think that there's probably an aha moment waiting to happen, and a really beautiful one. And I'm not even thinking about this card, which is the other in your pile, and that's the Ace of Swords. I mean, that's exactly it. That's an aha moment, a moment of clarity, or finding clarity about something. So I think that group one, you are probably going to find some clarity and possibly a new beginning. Okay, so the guidance in this group is that allowing this state of suspension will help you find clarity. That's what it is. It's just saying, okay, it's about accepting reality as it is. So your guidance is to accept whatever your circumstances are and trust that. I'm reminded of what I was saying when I did the first reading, that this rhino is considered to be very precious because it's endangered. And so trust that you are very precious and therefore protected, Let me see what else. So really trust this feeling of being protected. And perhaps that's what you can work on. If you're finding it really hard to be in lockdown or quarantine, or whatever your circumstances are, if you're finding it hard, difficult, focus on the sun. Focus on the sun in your solar plexus and draw it into your solar plexus. The other suggestion in this group is to do this inner work. There's light again. You have light there, you have light there, you have light there, right? And then those little marigolds, I think they are, or whatever they are, there's light there as well, So focus on the light. If you can, do the going within. I know that sometimes it's difficult, but try to do that. or if you're feeling finding that difficult, just do the work with the sun, and just try to simply accept that wherever you are is where is the right place, and that you will be guided. You will have your flash of inspiration, and you will have the clarity. And most importantly, keep reminding yourself that you are precious, and that you are safe, and you are protected. I think that's a really nice thing to remind yourself of. So perhaps can be your mantra for the week ahead. I'm safe, I'm protected, I am precious, I am beloved, whatever the case might be. But you can choose, perhaps if you feel fearful, just remind yourself of that. Okay, group 1, I hope that's helpful. Let me put your rhino so you can see him nicely. I hope that helps. Lots of love to you. I hope the week is beautiful, and please share your comments. Please share your experiences. I'd love to hear from you. Take care. Bye. Hello, group 2. Welcome back. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure what's going on with me. With both 1 and 2, I didn't click record again. So your cards are laid out. I'm really sorry about that. But in any case, so what I've done with all the cards is to use the light seers as I've isolated all the major arcana to be your theme, to act as your theme, and then I've drawn from the Greenwich Tarot for the elaboration. So you have the Hermit, and the Hermit is about going within. It's about going within to seek wisdom or answers. It also could suggest, it could refer to lockdown and quarantine and the need to isolate, right? Now, the first thing I noticed was your 2 coins cards. You have the King of Coins in the reverse, and you have the 9 of Coins in reverse. What I'm thinking is that this group is concerned about money. I thought this would be about love, maybe, because of the 2 lines. I brought the other line in because I thought the other one was lonely. So I think this group is concerned about money, and as along with that is this issue of crying over spilt milk. Now, I was just observing that in this deck, in the original Rider-Waite, there are 2 cups that the person is facing, and they have spilt. No, there are 3 cups that the person's facing and they've spilt, but behind them there are 2 cups still standing that haven't spilt. So but in this deck, she's actually spilling the milk, and so I was thinking perhaps she thinks the milk is sour, and not realizing, and so she's spilling it all really crossly, not realizing that there are three cups, and perhaps I'm hazarding a guess that those 3 cups don't have sour milk, that the milk is fresh and good to use. So it could be that you're feeling really grumpy, and honestly I think it is about isolation and lockdown. And here in South Africa there's a lot of concern about the country being too conservative about lockdown and not opening up quickly enough. So that's a debate that's ongoing. Some people think it's rational, others feel that let's slowly open up, especially issues like tobacco and alcohol. But there are slowly things are opening up. So I think with you, group 2, this whole reading is about your perspective. Group 1 actually got the Hanged Man. You don't have the Hanged Man, but I'm suggesting that you are thinking that everything has gone stale. You're worried about this. The king in the upright is at the pinnacle of success, you know, thriving. And your concern, I think, is that you've lost this, and you've lost this happy, abundant life, or you are losing it, and that is your concern. But I really feel like it's about the way your point of view and how you look at things. I'll come back to this is a really lovely card to have here. I really think you need to consider what you have been proverbially wanting to throw out because you think, oh, this is just not working. This is not working. So you want to, like, you know, when they talk about throwing the baby out with the bathwater, you just want to chuck it all in or throw it all away. I would say consider what is still working, what can be salvaged, and also consider having a different perspective, right? And that's to don't throw all the milk out. Don't throw the baby out with the bath water. Just think about what is still upright and what is still there for you. It will vary for people. Sorry, I just have to, my battery's not charging here. Okay, sorry about that. It feels like my laptop charger now. It's packing up. Oh. Anyway, so I was saying that I really think it would be wise to have a different perspective, try to look at things differently, and find a way of looking at. There's gold in the isolation, perhaps. There's gold in your turning in. Look at the hermit. The hermit finds wisdom from being still. He's even, it looks like he's levitating. Yeah. Well, they are levitating. And in this finding stillness, they do amazing things, or they find out amazing things, right? So I'm suggesting very strongly to group 2 that your work for the week ahead is to do the hermit. The other group also got, oh gosh, everything's packing up. So I was saying that I think you need to strongly, I was saying that group 1 also got the hermit, but I got such a different feel from group 1, not to push this going within if that's not working, but to do something else. With you, I really feel that just an altered perspective is what you need, and that altered perspective will come from going within, from being the hermit. You have the Ace of Wands, but it's in reverse, which I don't know why, but it suggests to me that for some reason lockdown is going to have to continue for you for some reason, for this group. I don't know if that's true, but that's what that suggests to me, that your new beginning going out there, it's not time yet. I'm not too sure what that reason is, but I still don't think it's a negative thing for you. Also because, well, inherent in the Ace of Wands is that new beginning. And so what if that new beginning is delayed, right? Also, I know that this group, the card suggests is that this group is concerned about this being all lost. And I honestly don't think that that's the case, because also you have the victory card. All right. That king is still there. That happy family and abundance is still there. It is still there. You simply need to take a different perspective. Okay? And you need to, I think group 2, you can stop sulking. Just don't throw the milk out. You have fresh milk. You have a lot, you know. So here's another thing I'm going to leave you with, is that there's a bunny in this depiction of the 5 of Cups. So that's about fertility, right? So this person is so gatful, which is a word I've been seeing a lot, fed up, that they just like, no man, to hell with this. Not realizing they have that, and they have this symbol of fertility. So for me, fertility can mean that ability to recoup any losses you might have had, or to still be abundant despite those losses. Okay. So group 2, please tell me how this worked, how this resonated for you. I really would suggest that your work for the week ahead, I know it's not work, it's joyful, right? You can do it with joy. But because the rewards are so amazing, you know, when we find answers for ourselves, or we find divine answers, however you believe, you know, all it's saying, if you're a person who prays, do the praying. If you're a person who meditates, do the meditation. If you find it difficult to meditate, sit quietly 20 minutes. Just try and make time to sit quietly. The other thing you can do, I've been journaling for, I think 20, maybe 30 years almost. My journal is my speaking to my higher self, to something higher than me, something that has more wisdom that I, in my daily walking life, I feel don't have, you know. It's a higher part of my mind, or universal mind, however you believe. But find a way of doing that, going within, and trust really. You know, you might get some insight in that, but I really feel the going within, and then just try and take a different perspective, and don't feel like you have to throw everything away or give something up, or that you have lost everything. You haven't. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope that helps. Please share your feedback. I'm waiting for people to comment. I would love to have interaction. Okay, thank you, group 2. I hope you have a lovely week ahead. Lots of love. Bye. Welcome back, group 3. You chose the zebra. Balance, I imagine. You get the high priestess. The high priestess is about accessing inner wisdom, or it could talk about something that's hidden. I'm using the light seers for your I've chosen, I think I mentioned this before. Anyway, I'm using the light seers tarot for your major arcana, and then I'm using the witch's tarot to clarify your story and your guidance and reflection for the week ahead. So you have it turn out like that. So you have the Knight of Swords in the upright, and you have the King of Swords in the reverse. So that's interesting. And then you have the Four of lots of swords. It's not a bad thing, just means that, could mean that you're very much in your head about stuff. And then you've got the High Priestess under here. I just looked at it just to get more clarity, I suppose, to see what's under. And you have the High Priestess, excuse me, in reverse. Okay. I think this group is worrying about stuff. I just checked on what the next card was. Curiosity. Okay. So these are two very different cards. The one is sleepless nights, and the other is chilling, relaxing, completely relaxing. But it's almost like that's the antidote for that. So relaxing and doing the meditation. The Four of Swords is often about it is about meditation, but see how this figure in this set of cards is just relaxing outside. And I think that's beautiful, because lots of people do struggle with meditation. And I think the idea is that, and I really believe that, meditation can be sitting outside and just enjoying the grass and the sounds of the birds and the crickets and the bees and the flowers, or even sitting inside and watching something that's about nature, or just doing that in a quiet way, stilling yourself so that you feel peaceful, or doing things that make you feel peaceful. In this case, he's just lying outside, maybe looking at the clouds. How lovely is that, right? He's got water. It's just calm. And then you have two other opposing energies. It's so interesting. Like when you think about two can be two opposing energies, or they can be melded into one, right? I don't know if I'm making sense. It's like yin yang. They can be seen as opposites, or can be melded into one. That in each of us there's an aspect of the other, kind of thing. So here we have, wow, I'm seeing twos and twos and twos, right? Even though they're not, but like those two and that two, and then the zebra being about 2 in 1. So you have the High Priestess, this is, I love this card. Here, I think there's a strong focus for this group on going within. Wow. Each of the groups is being asked to go within so far, but in very, very different ways. The feelings are so different that I get for each of them. And this one feels like a head going within, in a way. It's weird. I know that this group is in your head maybe, but at the same time, the going within, because the High Priestess is about wisdom, it's about hidden wisdom, right? She carries the book of knowledge, which implies that head stuff. If I look at the High Priestess, she's brilliant. She's very intellectual, very intelligent. So perhaps this group is a group that is very in their heads and very thinky, likes, you think a lot about stuff, you think deeply about stuff, and that's wonderful. The problem is when you allow yourself to be debilitated by your overthinking and then have sleepless nights. And your antidote, obviously, as I said earlier, is your doing the meditation to have the sleepless nights. But let me think about the Knight of Wands. So you have the Knight of Wands, of Swords in the upright, and you have the King of Swords in the reverse. Now, I suppose if I was starting something, I would want the Knight of Wands, Knight of Athames. That's what they're called in this deck of cards. But if I wanted more steady work or steady progress, I would want the King rather than the Knight. But the King is in reverse. So is there some concern about maybe an intellectual a project, maybe a head-based project? Perhaps you're a student, or someone that has to do work regarding writing or analysis, and you're concerned that work is maybe not coming in, or that you're at a standstill. Maybe universities are closed, or students, it might be a parent of a student or a pupil at school, or it could be a pupil at school themselves who is not getting back to school. It could be a teacher, that you're worried about this. And if I see this as the antidote, let me think. Because the Knight of Swords dashes in, right? And how do you like this? I know that I do get sidetracked, but check the yin yang in that badger, the colors. So the balance thing. Yeah, there's a lot about balance here. So, you know, the Knight of Swords is, both of these are intellectual energies, right? But the Knight of Swords has a fresh take on stuff. The danger of the Knight of Swords, I suppose, is in that he's youthful and maybe over enthusiastic. All the knights, well, not the Knight of Coins so much, and the Knight of Cups, they're more fluid and earthy, but definitely the other two knights, and the Knight of Swords is one of them, want to rush in and get clarity now, kind of thing. That's what I'm feeling with the Knight of Swords here, wanting to rush in with maybe a brilliant idea or ideas, but perhaps perhaps you're worried that you want more steady progress, but at the moment you're feeling like, do I have to start again? Maybe will I have to start again? Perhaps that's what's going on here. So what I would suggest, though, with this group is that you've got this powerful high priestess there, and I would say, like the magician, she's one of the archetypes that's so much about brilliance, intellectual brilliance, should I say. And I think that you have the tools to unlock that brilliance within yourself, that you have that. And even if you're not able to do the steady work, maybe you need to be in this night energy for now. You know, I'm just thinking, like, so maybe you've started some kind of intellectual, academic or intellectual thesis, writing, project, whatever the case might be. That's one possible thing that I see. And now it's kind of at a standstill. However, if you maybe that project needs this kind of energy, you know, maybe it needs this fresh energy of the Knight of Swords. So what I would suggest to you is that if this is the case, perhaps just keep writing down your ideas. I think that perhaps you're getting lots of wonderful ideas coming to you right now, and they might give new energy to whatever this project is, this thesis, this work. Let's say okay, so that sounds more like if I'm speaking for someone at university, or but let's say if you're a pupil at school, perhaps this is a time to start writing down your ideas. Or, you know, not being at school, you could still be studying, you could still be watching educational programs that stimulate you and things that you are really interested in, and just writing down your ideas, writing down the inspiration that comes to you, because that will feed this, right? And likewise, if you are whoever, I mean, this group for me is obviously in the head space. Their work, their study, it's people who are doing stuff with the head. Some people, it could be people who do a lot of research. Instead of worrying that this is not happening, you're not able to build on what you started, you can, because with the youthful energy, you know, the lockdown has let many of us rest in a way. All of us, I think. There's no rat race. So you have a chance now. I think that you're being asked to trust those brilliant ideas. Trust that they are there. I think that maybe you are getting these brilliant ideas, but you don't think they are. So I'm suggesting that they are, because you've got the high priestess there. And let your, just look at this image, right? His youthfulness, his innocence, his immature, the youthfulness is the thing that helps, because he's youthful, he's able to charge in there and trust those things that are coming to him, right? Because the king of swords might plod along and do the stuff and be so sure of their wisdom and their knowledge that they might not be able to take this fresh perspective. You now have this chance to look at stuff from a fresh perspective, and because of that, I think you're going to bring much more richness to whatever it is you've been working on. Oh, I think that's awesome. You know, even if you're a researcher, I'm thinking of a colleague of mine, and I'm in that same boat where we haven't worked, it's just not flowing like it was. I think because the people that we work with are all affected, right? And but it doesn't stop us from doing our explorations, or from writing down our ideas. In fact, this is a chance. We've been forced to slow down. Now we can do those things. So I'm hoping my lovely niece is one of the people that chooses this deck, because I know that I shouldn't be giving personal messages, but she comes to mind. But it doesn't just apply to her, obviously. But so if you are watching this, I am saying that you have the high priestess. You have this hidden knowledge. You can access that through a fresh perspective, through your youthful energy. And the youthful energy is not just because you're in a youthful body. It's because you've had time to rest. You've had time to slow down. Use this time that you've had to slow down to look at things afresh. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful energy. So to take home, I would say, trust that you have this wisdom, right? Instead of worrying about this, that you're not going to be able to get back to your projects, oh, I can't get back, I've lost this year, or whatever the case might be, trust that there's a reason. And your antidote for this worrying, dear beloveds, your antidote for this worrying is to do this relaxing. You know, you can, this is the thing that keeps coming up. You can rage against the lockdown, or you can rage against your situation, or you can go with it. Just see the beauty in life. Take the time to relax. You're forced to relax. Take the time to relax and enjoy it, because that different perspective, that relaxing, that chilling, that meditating, if you find it easy to meditate, or that just looking at stuff around you from a place of peace, is what is rejuvenating you and helping you look at things from a different perspective, so that you can unlock that beautiful wisdom. Trust that it's in there. And my advice would be, write. Do your writing. Do your writing with your, you know, this quote has been coming to me a lot. I think Michelle mentioned it, my friend Michelle. She was talking about Buddhism or something. That beginner mind thing. There's your beginner mind. There's your beginner mind. Your youthfulness in your mind is the key to unlocking that wisdom. And it's there, and you can feel it. Okay. Let me leave it there, or else I overtalk and yeah. So group 3, enjoy that message. I think that's really powerful. Go be the high priestess. Go sit with her, unlock that beautiful wisdom, rest, trust. Lots of love to you. Bye. Oh, and please do give me feedback. I'd love to hear how that worked for you. Okay, group 4. Group 4, I just want to say that this is a very special thing. It's a lip ice, a lip balm, right? And when my mum passed away in September, and I was cleaning out her drawers, and I found a whole lot of essential oils that I used to buy for her, and little things that I used to buy for her, because that was our thing. She used to get me little things, and I used to get her little things, you know. And these were the ways I just show her I loved her, you know. And so I found this, and I took it as a memento. Anyway, so this is a very special, this is the group I've chosen, by the way. So it's a special group for me, and perhaps we'll be focusing on love. I'm not sure. So let's see what our card is. Oh, wow. So we've got the Magician. So the thing with the Magician is, okay, and then we get the Emperor in the reverse, and we get the Nine of Wands in the upright. The thing with the Magician is this power to create. I would say manifest, but I'm a little bit wary of using that term for my own reasons. But I think there's power to create or co-create the universe with spirit, or however you see it. So let's take those two. Knight of Wands upright, Seven of Chalices upright. Okay, let me take a moment. So let's start out with acknowledging this Magician. This is a powerful archetype of being able to create whatever it is you want to create. Trust that, right? The thing about the Magician, though, is that we can misuse power. It's easy to misuse power, and perhaps that's what you're struggling with at the moment, is knowing that you're at a space where you are very creative, and you are, I'm going to use the term manifest, manifesting the reality that you want. But I'm going to say this cautiously, because I don't think we just manifest realities like that, which is what we are told in the spiritual sector. We work hard for that. So I think there's something that you've been working towards. Perhaps you haven't seen the results of it. And this is a reminder that you have that capacity to do that. I think that your fear might be abuse of power, and perhaps that gets in the way of you being the Magician. So perhaps just look at where are you afraid of abusing power, because the Magician does have the potential to abuse power and behave in destructive ways against other people and themselves. So just be aware of that. Now you have the horned god, which is the Emperor. There are some similarities between the Emperor and the Magician. So let's think about the Emperor. In his upright, in this card, in this depiction, the Emperor is at one with nature, happy, contented with his masculinity, you know, comfortable with it, working with nature, working with everything around him for the better, the best of everything around. There's the badger, the fox, the bear, the crows, the crow and other birds, and the deer, and lots of flowers. Yeah. So that's the positive aspect of, those are the positive aspects of the king of, the emperor. But we have the emperor in the reverse. So what are the negative masculine qualities? And I think perhaps this is the answer for what it is we are afraid of, is aggression. We're afraid of those things within ourselves, of being arrogant, of aggression. Okay, I'm going to leave it to you actually. Perhaps what you need to think about is where does the emperor in the reverse get in the way of you acting in this power, being the magician? It is some shadow aspect of the emperor that you might be afraid of. So think about, when you think about the masculine, divine masculine in yourself, what are the negative qualities that you are most afraid of displaying yourself? Okay, so that's a task for you to do. The other cards. So you have the Nine of Wands, and in this depiction, the person is quite fearful. So they've created quite a lot, but they are also maybe worried about losing those creations. And there's a little fairy there trying to say, come and play, come and play. I think that's what it's about. Perhaps there's a suggestion of letting a little bit, you've done all the creation, and stop worrying about it. Maybe you need to do something different for a while so that you can appreciate what you have created. Okay. I think that's what the Nine of Wands is saying in this case. And all the other cards are in the upright. There's the Knight of Wands. Normally the Knight of Wands is depicted as a fast-moving, in and out, rushing energy. But this Knight of Wands, firstly, is shown as a feminine, and secondly, is moving quite slowly on a brown steed. It's quite a calm energy, actually, very grounded energy in this depiction of the Knight of Wands. It does suggest something coming in, an offer of some sort. So it is possible that an offer will come in. Right? And with that offer, perhaps there will be lots of choice. Sometimes having too much choice is quite difficult. And there are the fairies again, beguiling you and trying to get you to play. I think this group is being asked to not take things too seriously, including myself. Just have a light touch. Hopefully there will be an offer that comes in. I wouldn't mind work offer, really. And please, by all means, give me choices. Let me be able to say, yes, I'll take this, and no, I won't take that. By all means, I'm looking forward to that. But the Seven of Cups also, the difficulty with the Seven of Cups is that you then have to choose wisely with all the choice that is available. Not all of them are the right thing for you. So you might have to be discerning in something. Looks, the Knight of Wands in here is on quite a long journey, but it's very calm. Very calm. I think that perhaps there is, well, they're not, and in fact, they're not on a long journey. Look at that. The light is there. There's the words village there. So around the horizon there, around the corner there, is the village, and the sun there's the sun there. So it's not too far to go. I don't know what that means, but it suggests there's not too far to go. Wow. That's what came to me. I think some worry we must just place down, because there's not too far to go, and there will be sun. I hope that's true. I hope that comes true for you as well. So I think we are being asked not to worry, and that if we are faced with choices, that we must just be wise about them, and that all that glitters isn't gold. But I also think we are being told to play a little bit. Play, try to be peaceful. And then our big task, okay, I'm going to call them tasks, because they're lovely tasks, right? Is to ask this question about how is the emperor getting in the way of the magician, in how we perceive the emperor within ourselves, the negative aspects of the emperor within ourselves, and how is that getting in the way of us being this co-creator and manifesting, making real all those things that we've worked hard for. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Beloved group 4s, chat with me, please. I think this is a lovely reading. I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead. Please let me know how it goes. Lots of love to you. Bye.